fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.
Dudes, welcome back to Doodla. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And today we're going to be talking about travel. Both of us have taken trips with our little ones. You with your double little ones.
We're still here, still alive.
We made it. Can tell you that you can travel. You should travel. Get out and see the world. But
there's a few things you should maybe do ahead of time.
Yeah, it's
to
gonna
prepare.
It's gonna be a little different than you're used to. It's not the same travel as it was before, which shouldn't be news to you.
Yeah.
You just got to be a little more planned, a little more organized, and we're here to hopefully help you. First things we're going to talk about is the prep of it. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to preface this and say I didn't do a whole lot of my planning. That was my wife.
Cheers, abs.
Thank you, Abigail, for planning like 98% of it. I'm pretty sure she started packing
weeks in advance.
Literally, I think she started packing 10 days before we left, and
Yep.
I was like, "What are you doing? Packing? We don't leave for 2 weeks." Well, thank you for packing 2 weeks beforehand because she had everything ready to go.
Honestly, Viv did the same thing. It was really, really great to step in when needed, but ultimately all of the little minute details and
Yep.
the little things, I'm really, really glad. And in addition to that, it was a lot of the research
Yeah.
that she just dominated. Like one big thing that I learned is you can do a lot more at the airport as a parent with a baby than you can as like a regular travel person, like just somebody going on a trip. Like we were able to we're doing formula. We're able to bring 6 water bottles, like sealed.
Wow.
So that we could have enough water throughout the whole flight and the whole travel day.
Yep.
I did remember, I was told 6 ounces or 4 ounces or whatever. I was like,
it changes all the
Viv,
time.
we're bringing like a bunch of water. What's going on? She's like, well, I learned that on the TSA website it says you're allowed. So we went. The guy's like, oh, you've got babies. Okay. So and he like took us over to the little special area and swabbed it, and away we went. No problem.
And it's the same thing with breast milk. We brought, I don't even know how much breast milk we brought.
A lot.
Yeah,
Probably a whole cooler full.
I think we had like 6 bags of breast milk, and it flags it, and they're like, yeah, I think that's probably breast milk. They're like, okay, let me see it. You open it, and they're like, yep, good to go.
One funny thing we did that we got flagged on is we brought wipes, like a bag of wipes.
Yep.
And the TSA lady's like, hey, come over here real quick. Do you guys know what a bomb looks like on our screens? And I'm like, no, I don't. And she's like, it looks just like this. It looks like a thick brick that you can't see through.
Of wipes. Okay.
So they thought maybe they had to double check.
So your milk and water are not going to get flagged, but your baby wipes, if you bring enough of them, will.
Yeah.
One thing that we did, and I don't know if you guys did the same, we only packed enough diapers for the airport. They say pack a diaper an hour for your travel time. So if you're like leaving your house at 6 a.m., flight's at 9, and you're going to land at noon, you need 6 diapers for that whole period of time.
Or if you've got twins, double it.
Or triple, yeah, depending on how they do it. But we only brought, we ended up bringing, I think, 10 diapers in our diaper bag. But then we bought a pack of wipes when we were out there, just so you don't have to travel with them, and then you just come back with however many you have. Yeah, you buy a smaller pack or whatever, because those things take up a ton of room. And if you're trying to, and you will see, there is no difference between packing for your kid for 24 hours or 7 weeks. I swear. You have to bring everything for the one night. All you're bringing is clothes.
Yeah.
So try and save as much space as possible when you are doing that.
Yep. We also bought diapers when we landed.
Yep.
It was by far the best decision.
Yep. Much, much easier. So that is a good tip, I think, that my wife and I learned.
Yep. What about the gear, like all the stuff? You're talking about you got to bring it all, okay? Stroller, car seat, all that. What'd you do?
Yeah, so thankfully, again, Abigail, great job. Our travel car seat was like TSA approved, or our stroller and car seat. Super easy to fold, literally. Then it's the Nuna Travel, I think. So Nuna, hey, send us some money. It's literally one button. You like slide this thing and push a button, and the whole thing goes. So it folds up super easy. And cool. So to get through TSA, sometimes they make you put your stroller up on the, the little thing to go get checked. Another time they just let us push it through. So it kind of depends on what agent you get. But having a good stroller car seat combo, I think was super nice. We brought our car seat with us.
All the way through the airport?
All the way through. And so we had a bag that we were able to check both into. And here's a tip: when you get to the gate, if you're bringing your car seat, when you get to the gate, go straight up to the gate agent and ask if there's any open seats. If there are, don't quote me on this, but I think they have to like try and maneuver people so you can bring your car seat on. If you paid for a lap, or if you only had a lap baby, they can move things around so you can bring your car seat on.
Cool.
The first time we traveled, Riley was 2 months old, and so we literally fed her right before we took off. And then my wife brought her swaddle and her sound machine. Bring a sound machine. That was also huge. And we swaddled her, put her in, kind of just like barely clipped her here, and then turned on their sound machine, and she slept for like 3 hours.
Wow.
So if you're traveling with little ones, bring the swaddle, bring the sound machine. She felt like she was at home.
Okay. I too tried to bring my stuff.
Yep.
My stroller is not TSA. It wouldn't fit in the overhead bag.
I got a couple images of you hoofing it through the airport, and props to you,
I did
buddy.
get to the jet bridge.
Yep.
And then did the gate check thing.
Yep.
But yeah, a bag for the stroller.
Yep.
Bag for each car seat. I was lugging 3 things down the jet bridge. Viv's wrangling babies.
Yep.
It was a mess. We made it.
It's chaos.
It was chaos.
Try and make it as organized chaos as possible.
Yeah, it honestly, I'm glad we got to do it that way, all the way at the gate, because then I didn't have to have loose babies while trying to wrangle luggage all through the airport.
Well, the gate agents, everyone gives gate agents and like people who work for these airports all the time, they were fantastic.
They love babies.
They are going to do, most of them, I can't speak for all of them, but most of them are going to do what they can to make your trip easier because they appreciate what you're doing. And the easier it is for you, hopefully the less your baby's going to scream and everybody else is going to be happier.
So talk to me about what it was like to actually travel. What's different once you're on vacation or you're doing the trip? Like, what's different once you got a baby with you?
You're not free. Let me tell you that. You used to just kind of wake up and figure out what you were going to do, and now you've got another one to figure out, and the schedule is weird. We're not super schedule-y people, but, your kid's going to need to sleep, your kid's going to need to eat, and you kind of have to work around that. But don't be afraid if they're off. Because they probably will be. Yeah. Just being in a different place, sleeping in a porta crib or whatever, and just being time zones are weird. When you try and go across time zones, they don't know what's going on. Yeah. So all of a sudden, your whole day shifts 1 or 2 hours. So you try and keep them on bedtime around the same time. But you're not able to do as much as you like to do. And that's something that, is hard. You have to kind of commit, and I don't think you realize it until you're there. Yeah. Right? I know that's, you guys went to the beach and it wasn't your normal beach trip.
No, not quite. We really only made it out to the water like twice.
Yeah.
And we were there for a week.
And even then you're going,
it was like 30 minutes.
8 steps into the water, and then you're going back to the town.
Sand, sunny, wind, screaming, the whole 9.
Yep.
Yeah. On the, don't lose your mind about the travel day being a little different. Like, I felt bad. We traveled over Mother's Day, and on Mother's Day is when one of the babies just was losing it at night, and she just it took us a couple hours to get Lolly down. Yeah. And she was just yelling and screaming, and it was because she was in a new place. It was hot. Yeah. Border crib, all the things. So just give yourself grace, give your partner grace, trade off when the babies are struggling. Yeah. And I'm sure it is the same story as they get older too. It's just like new environment, new stimulus, like all of it. So,
but it's so worth it because you get to show your kids this different side of the world, right? I mean, Riley got to go to Georgia, so it wasn't super exciting. She went up to Tennessee, it was at the lake, but you guys got to show your girls the beach and the water and the ocean.
Oh, and they were giggling and stomping around. It was awesome. I loved it.
So travel.
Yes.
Travel with your kiddos. It is different. It's not it's difficult, but it's a manageable difficult.
Absolutely.
And just be ready. Your kid's probably going to cry on the plane. Like, just mentally prepare for that, and then if they don't, awesome.
Guess what? You'll never see those people again.
Exactly. And most people are cool with it. Like, most people understand it. Most people have had kids or understand it. And there's only going to be that one or two grumpy person that you're going to cross in your life.
And hopefully they're not in the seat right next to you.
Exactly. And, like, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
We were on the flight, and there were, like, 4 babies crying. So you're not alone. It's totally okay.
Yeah.
But you just need to mentally prepare for your kid is going to cry and kind of have a plan. Prepare, like, okay, feeding time, if we're going to feed her and we know she's hungry at 2.5 or 3 hours, have the bottle ready at 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then it can sit there, and then if she starts whining, you...
Yeah. One huge thing, shout out to Viv, is that we had these, like, toys. First of all, 2 weeks before the trip, she took away some of their favorite toys.
Smart.
And then we had like a few that we had never shown them. They were kind of like a leveled up toy.
Yeah.
They were like a suction thing that you put on
Just
the
blow your mind toys.
like spinny. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And we show up to the airport, and like on the plane when they started getting fussy, boom, we pop out their favorite toy from 2 weeks ago, and it blows their minds. They haven't seen it, and they're like, ah. So, like, bring the good stuff for when you need them to be entertained by, at least by yourself, 5-10 minutes.
It's a great idea. We another thing, if you do check your car seat and your car seat gets lost, they do have rental car seats from the airlines. So if you do get stuck, you do have rental car seats. So do not be afraid on that one. It may not be your top of the line car seat, but I promise you it's going to keep your kid safe and you'll be okay.
What did you do for your sleeping situation? Did you bring a porta crib?
So luckily we had we went and visited some friends and they had a porta crib.
Oh, they had
for
one
us.
for
Yep.
us.
So we did not have to travel with that.
We rented ours.
Okay.
And they got delivered to the house we were staying at. Like we called them a couple weeks ahead of time. It was like, I don't know, $100 for the week, and they dropped it off. And they sell toys. They like, and it's like a rental. They do toys. They do beach stuff. So like if you're going skiing,
and they're across the country, or is
there
it
was
just
there was a bunch of them. A bunch of locals. It was in Charleston.
Wow.
But local company that had a relationship with the Airbnbs and the VRBOs, and like it blew my mind that this is a whole industry.
So maybe that is our next branch of Doodla, is the rental side of it.
I'm talking
with
about
how many
this.
people coming out to Colorado.
I know.
You get a load of porta cribs.
And we just go and drop
we
them
just
off
drop
at the
them off.
Airbnb.
Yeah, pay a little college kid to go do it.
Boom.
I think it's okay.
I'm here for it.
I've also
You're
heard.
getting a peek behind the curtain of our ideas.
That's right. We just throw stuff, and most of the time it doesn't work.
Stick.
Another thing I heard that my sister-in-law does. She takes it. You can take a drawer out of a dresser, and put some blankets in it, and then it's perfect for like a newborn that doesn't move much. You can just or you put a pillow in it. In the dresser drawer, and then you've got a makeshift little crib,
That
like
makes
bassinet
sense.
thing.
Brilliant.
Because if they're not moving, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't put them in the dresser in it. You pull it out and put it on the floor, and so everybody's safe on that side.
Picturing Lolly toppling and then the whole thing.
Well, yeah, or you can just close it. No, we do not close them. But there's another one. There's a lot of makeshift things you can do
that's great.
For porta cribs. But if you're going out to visit somebody, I can almost guarantee you that somebody knows somebody who has a porta crib that you can borrow.
I want to go back to this idea of like travel is just different. I know that there's like, there's dads listening here that are nervous to be dads. They're excited. Maybe this doesn't totally, it's not totally relevant yet because maybe their wife is pregnant. But there's this like reality that travel and experiencing new things is just different when you've got a little one.
Yeah.
And we've touched on like it's really fun to bring them and it is worth it. But there is something to be said about preparing yourself that dinners look different, excursions look different. Going out and trying to be a tourist somewhere just looks a lot different.
Yep.
And so I would say the activities that you select, being intentional about those before you go is like huge. And doing a little bit of research to say, is this place, if for nothing else, to show your wife that you're attempting to like be a part of the plan.
Yep.
Like say, hey, does this place, give them a quick call. Hey, do you have changing tables at your restaurant?
Yeah.
You know, something as simple as that.
Just like Layla was talking about in our, one of our previous podcasts, like if you are researching, like it's going to go a long way to show that you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how many restaurants don't have changing tables.
Gosh. And in the men's room,
none.
It is so.
It's like 5%.
I would say like new builds and stuff. It's like becoming more of a thing. But man, I've gone into so many restaurants and I'm like, well, I guess I'm changing you on the floor.
Yep. Or just on the chair next to me at the restaurant.
On the table.
Yep. We have done that.
Sorry, we're having dessert, but there's a poopy diaper.
Yeah, it's got to get changed because otherwise it's going to be.
Don't eat out of that bowl. That's not chocolate ice cream.
No, I mean it. On that point with all of the how different it is, you just need to be flexible too. Like you can't be upset if you had planned to do this one day and then your kid's fussy, or you guys wake up and you're like, you know what, I'm just tired. We're gonna go to the hotel pool and we're gonna like hang out. Like you're still on vacation with your wife and with your kids,
your family.
Like enjoy it. It doesn't. It's gonna look different, but it's supposed to look different.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to go. My wife and I, we went to California a couple years ago. We were there for 2 nights and 3 days. We did so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever have a vacation like that again, and I'm okay with it because now we get to go and do fun things with the kids and find, like you were saying, find the 2 or 3 things that you really want to do. Mm-hmm. Plan your trip around that, and then have buffer room around those things.
Yeah. You also realize how resilient your kids are. Mm-hmm. Like we had them on a pretty strict schedule before.
Yep.
And I don't know, it was pretty empowering for us to see like, oh, they do have the ability to fall asleep on my lap at a restaurant.
Yep.
They do.
Yep. Your kids can sleep.
They do have the ability to make it happen.
Yep.
And it made me feel like indestructible when we got home.
Yeah.
Like I can handle anything.
Yeah, 100%.
If I can fly across the country with, and make it back alive. We did get sick. That sucked.
Yeah, it's just kind of part of it. Well, you guys also had to sit on the plane for an extra 2 hours.
Yeah, my plane ride wasn't great. The whole put the sound machine on and go to bed. We were in and out of turbulence, and the pilot was trying to do it, and their ears were going and popping. It was a mess.
Yeah, that's just travel though. Yeah. You're never gonna have a perfect travel day.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of traveling with your kiddos?
I'd say the giggles at the ocean. That was awesome. I got to show. I think another big piece of this is if you've got family or friends or connections around the country that aren't where you are, it's a lot to ask people to come to you every single time.
Yeah.
And some people just let those relationships kind of fizzle when they have kids and they just kind of hunker down and everything comes about their household. I don't know. For me, it was Viv and I love to travel, and so we got to show our kids to our friends and family over in Charleston. It was and letting that relationship begin to form with their aunts and uncles. And it's that's why we're doing it.
Yep.
And that was just really sweet. Showing my kids their family.
Yep.
And so that was I think some of my favorites.
If you're gonna do it, if you're next time you travel, what are lessons learned that you're gonna do different? What is one piece of gear that you wish you had, or one thing that you wish you had, or one thing you thought you would need and you didn't bring, or you won't bring next time?
Yeah, one thing we rented from that place was it was like a blackout teepee tent.
The canopy tent thing.
Yeah, we didn't use it.
You put a blanket over it.
I set it up,
over a crib.
And then it was kind of a pain to get.
It's huge.
It takes up a whole room.
Yeah, it's massive.
So we didn't have room for it.
Yep.
So I actually used it. I flipped it upside down and put it against the window to black out the
smart. There
the
you
window.
go.
So, but I could have done that with a blanket. So
instead, you had a tent.
I rented it for $100 a week. Yeah, so I don't think I would do that again. I don't know. My kids are getting a little older, so maybe it'll matter more later. But Yeah, one lesson I would just say we've been talking about this, but like go in with just different expectations.
Yeah.
And specifically if you're traveling with friends and family, like I'm normally the planner of the vacation.
Yeah.
I'm doing the research and picking the restaurants and reservations and buying tickets, and it was too much. I would put that on somebody else.
Yeah.
I'd like say, Grandpa, it's your job today. Yeah. You're finding the reservation. Yeah. You're finding the restaurant.
Yeah.
And be okay with some of the crew goes and does the thing.
Totally.
And you stay home.
Totally.
Like, that's okay too.
Yep.
Crying babies, sick babies, we're not going to the water park.
Yep.
Like, we're hanging.
And you're still gonna have a good time. You're out of your routine. You're not having chores. One thing that we did was we only brought, I think, 2 bottles instead of bringing a bunch of bottles and the little travel soap thing.
Yeah.
And you just
clean them every time.
Trying to keep up. That's another thing that is a whole game within a game. Keeping up with every single thing you brought. If you're able to make it home with everything that you brought, like, you deserve an award. Socks, bows if you got a girl, shoe straws, pacifiers, little blanket lovey things, bottles.
You're getting in and out of cars, all things. Dude.
Like you have to be, you kind of just have to like know where everything needs to have a home, and you need to check that everything is in its home before you leave. Because we went to a friend's house, then we drove to another friend's house, and then drove from there to the airport. So we kind of like were living kind of on the road almost in different areas, and keeping up with stuff was tough.
So when you need a good diaper bag,
it's
got a place for everything. I'm a big like carabiner guy, so I got a lot of things like attached to my bag, and each of them has a thing that
you're that guy.
I'm that guy.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at my diaper bag. It's got things hanging on. A little extra thing for 2 extra pacifiers. The sound machine's on there.
No, I mean it works, and we have the little packing cubes.
Oh yeah.
And that is super nice to be able to determine what's clean, what's dirty, and then you have this packing cube is for nighttime. Your sleepers. These are for your outfits. These are for, my wife is from the South, so we had
a lot of
84 bows for a 5-day trip. Let's figure out so that was bows, and but you're able to like, this goes in here. So then when you are unpacking, you also don't know where, you know where things are.
It's great.
So organization, I think, is a key to it. Where like, before I would, and I'm still a little bit this way, pack like 20 minutes before I got to leave and just throw stuff in a bag and off we go.
A few pairs of pants, a couple shirts.
And you can do that for yourself, but it doesn't work that way for kids. Got to make sure that you're prepping and planning a little bit, because it's going to make your trip and your time a whole lot better. Yep.
And if you do have the big bag, I've never been a bag kind of guy. I've always been a carry-on person. We checked a bag.
Worth it.
It was worth it.
Worth it. Because then if you're lugging around the airport a car seat, a stroller, a carry-on bag, a baby, a diaper bag, like, you got 2 shoulders, man. Like, I don't know what you're going to be doing. So don't be afraid to check a bag. The less that you have to take through security, the better.
Bottom line is you're not moving very fast.
Give yourself time. Holy cow, give yourself time.
So much time.
Like,
you don't move fast.
No.
And you do have to change a diaper, usually at the most inconvenient time.
Yeah. Give yourself
Both girls,
time.
Full diapers, as we're like entering the security line.
Yep.
I was like, oh no. We made it through.
Figure it out. And then having a carrier. I don't know if you guys brought yours, but then you can load, if you have extra stuff, you load the car seat and the stroller with the stuff, baby in here, and then you're pretty free on that side. Be comfortable on the floor, because you're probably going to be sitting on the floor if you have a layover. If you're we had a layover, and luckily it went very smooth, but I could. Oh man, I don't want to have too many layovers traveling with young kids.
might be worth the money to buy the.
Could be
the
worth
bags.
the extra couple $100 to do that. Because ours went very smooth. We're very thankful for it. But yeah, we spent some time on the ground. And people are nice. They're like chatting us up, telling us, how great we were doing. And it makes you feel really good because there are people that are going to tell you, like, you are doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like, hey, thanks, because I don't
feel like
it. I have no idea what I'm actually doing. How evenings traveling? Were they? How was bedtime? How was eating and cooking and not in your place? Going out to eat.
The routine, man. It's all messed up.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do our milk math as we go. And, okay, we got dinner in 3 hours, but we're all got a reservation in 1 hour, so we're trying to wrap dinner up sooner to get them to feed and go to bed. And so it's just honestly, you'd mentioned it's just communicating with your partner, because it takes some teamwork to make that work, and it was I would say as good as it could have been.
Good.
I think that the girls exceeded my expectations. Evie especially, I think she just crashed wherever we put her.
Yep.
Which was awesome. Lolly took some snuggles and some coaxing because we're putting her to bed in a weird place.
Yeah.
But I'd say we got to feed them some new foods, and so I think they ate and kept up with us as best as I could expect them to do.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you got to just remember these are babies.
Totally.
And they are resilient, more resilient than I think we give them credit for. But also sometimes they just need some snuggles.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you my 3 quick tips. Then you're gonna give me your
okay.
Number 1 is give yourself extra time, because you don't want to be sprinting through an airport with a little one, and then you'll forget something at TSA. And TSA, they do a very good job, but just give yourself time at the airport. If you're a 2-hour person, give yourself an extra 30 minutes in the airport, because I would way rather go find an empty gate, sit, hang out, make sure I've got everything, and you're gonna pour sweat. Honestly, packing an extra t-shirt or something, not a horrible idea, because it is stressful getting through there, and you get pretty sweaty.
And so do the babies.
Yes.
They are hot tamales, man.
They are hot pockets, man. Oh, yeah, you have those on you have your kid on your chest, you're holding them. So pack an extra shirt. I didn't have to change, but you may, depending on what time of year you're traveling, you may want to do that. So give yourself extra time. Be organized is another one of mine. Just in your packing, in your planning, in your everything. Just make sure that you know where something is, and you know what you're doing. Come in with a plan. You can go fly, have some plans, but also number 3, be flexible, because your plans are going to change. We went on it was supposed to be a 4-hour drive, turned into 6, just because Riley wasn't doing great in the car, and you just kind of got to get her out and feed her and then change her and then feed her. And so it definitely makes it tough.
Yep. Dude, those are good. Those are great. I think for the dads, I would say have an open mind, because things you never used to do, you're going to do.
Yep.
And it's a lot of pressure, I think, on moms to feel prepared.
Yes.
And so, open mind about the activities and how you're going to travel and what it's going to look like. 2 is use your hands and help. Pick something up, lift something, open your phone and do some research. Call ahead. Be willing to help.
Yep. Love that.
And I think the last one is have fun with it, because they are giggling the whole. They're you're blowing their minds.
Yeah.
You go walk around the airport and it's just stuff and people and sounds and smells, and they're just wide-eyed staring around. And if you do, just look at them and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Even if there's a place to be, So is standing right there. That's kind of the place to be.
Yeah.
So I would say those would be my tips.
Get out, go show your kids the world, even if it's just a road trip. We've done a couple of road trips, and your kid does great in the car too. Get out, go show your kid the world.
Yeah.
Don't let your kid hamstring you into not being able to travel. Because like you said, they're resilient. They'll sleep when they're tired. I promise. They may cry a little bit more. They'll eat when they're hungry. They may be a little more hungry, so you may need a little extra food, but they're going to do a great job, and you're going to do a great job as long as, put in a little work on the front end.
And enjoy the ride.
Yeah, just be okay with it. So
It's great.
go out, see the world with your kiddos. It's well worth it.
Awesome.
Dad!
Daddy out! Dad!
It's a lot of lights, Dad.
You fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.